meeting is officially started. Thanks for coming to the Lents Neighborhood Livability Association meeting for August. And I'll get the announcements out of the way first. We have a get well card for Officer Orion, who's part of our local dirt team that took a bad tumble off his quad and broke several bones and is going to be off for several months, I guess.
Well, where did that happen?
It happened over on the youth encampment between Division and Alvin Division. That they, yeah, on the MUP that they cleaned out and they're already repopulating. Well, it's not the MUP, it's the one right along the freeway, I think.
That's right.
This Saturday is Neighbor to Neighbor, and we meet at 8:15 here at the quad behind us for breakfast, and then we'll go out to our various groups. I think it sounds like we're helping with, potentially helping with the neighborhood lady who has perhaps agreed to having a drop box put in the street in front of her house, and we can load it up. And then we have West Rock cleanups. Other than the Neighbor to Neighbor Saturday, we have them every Saturday, but this one will be on Sunday. And it's we meet at 9935 Southeast Woodstock Court and spend about an hour picking up stuff that's blown around their neighborhood. And that's a partnership that we've kind of worked out with them. They're trying to get along better with their neighbors, and they pay us for our efforts at cleaning up their mess. This Saturday is the Lents Fair at 92nd and Harold, the lot where the goats were located for a time. And it's from 11 to 4. We'll have a booth there where we're handing out swag bags and free water and trying to make contact with other neighborhood members. And then our group has scheduled Sunday walks. Every Sunday evening, we keep pushing the time back later, so perhaps it will cool off in the evening. And you can check our website for that, time and location. And there's going to be a Johnson Creek cleanup in partnership with Johnson Creek Watershed Council, 6201 Southeast Overland at 8 a.m. And then the VFW breakfast is not this Sunday, but next Sunday at 9 a.m. at the American Legion Hall, which is 8329 Southeast 89. And then, so our membership here is, after you've attended 2 meetings, you can, and you decide you want to try to make it to all of our meetings, you can sign a participation agreement and become a voting member of our group. And should mention at this time that a couple of our charter members left last month, kind of, I think they left angry at us because we thought we were getting together with a group of friends for breakfast, and this is Julie and Cliff, and Julie arrived angry at the group, angry at something that was said on our Facebook page, and I think she found reason enough in just kind of friendly chatter amongst the group to blow up at us and storm out and say, I expected this from Bob Santangelo, but not from you. And she was really referring to Sherri and I. So it's kind of sad that they've moved on and we've moved on, and that's probably enough of that. And one other thing I want to run by you folks is this group isn't political. However, part of doing better, I think, for our neighborhood, Char and I kind of figured out that we need to go make an appearance at city council meetings and county commissioner meetings to really speak on livability issues. So Char basically ghostwrites it, I rewrite it, and then I'm the figurehead that I'm supposed to speak at the meeting. And then I get my 2 or 3 minutes in front of the camera, and I did it the first time today. I've spoken once before at a city council meeting. But I guess what I'm asking for is permission to speak on behalf of the entire group. Because in the past, I've just gone as a concerned citizen. I'm not going to speak about who's right or, it's not political. It's really about livability, crime, and basically that's it. We don't, we're not for or against shelters, homeless. We have our issues maybe with the shelters that are popping up everywhere and the fact that I disagree with warehousing people as a humane way to treat them, but what do you do? And subsidized housing is something else that we take a little bit of issue with because we're acting like that's the only solution to the folks that are living outdoors. And I think they need to look at other issues, which is getting the criminal element out of our neighborhoods and off our streets so that all of Portland becomes a safer place to live. But anyway, that's my pitch, and does anybody have any comments or thoughts about us representing the group? Yes.
I know I don't live out here, but can I make a motion and say that I would give my full approval of you and Char going to those meetings and raising whatever kind of heck you want?
Thank you for keeping it clean.
Okay, is
It's a
any
very
other?
good idea, I second it.
Okay,
Are they gonna have with all these shelters popping up, when they start going out, basically demanding people get into these shelters when they refuse to do what? We're still in the same spot.
exactly.
So can't they be forced to either move it or lose it?
Not in the current political climate, and certainly not with the laws that are on the books. There are no laws to require treatment in jail. In fact, we don't have adequate jail space to house people that are, you know. But
Spade and
anyway,
separating either, but we have.
that's the things that we want to speak to, and we think that somebody that represents Lents needs to go speak to the city and the county about what we see as livability issues here.
Do we ever see that out here?
Yes, sir.
There's been a lot on the TV about movement on the city council's part to sort of downgrade the neighborhood associations. Can you speak to that and what sort of impact will the neighborhood associations continue to have?
So it has no negative impact on us in that we're not the official city recognized neighborhood association. We formed this group because we didn't think that the neighborhood association, number one, represented the neighborhood, and number two, they didn't do anything. They held meetings and they went and drank at Eagle Eye or whatever they wanted to do. We wanted to get out and get feet on the ground and help our neighbors. So there is a feeling among some of the city commissioners, and Chloe Daly is probably the biggest one along these lines, that the neighborhood associations are predominantly white homeowners and that they don't represent all of Portland. And so while she claims they're not going to diminish the neighborhood associations, the drive is to write them out of the city code that allowed for them in the first place. You know, if we had a good neighborhood association here in Lents, I might be willing to fight that fight. But my real concern is that the neighborhood associations were a way for citizens to get involved in city politics. And if they take that out of the code, there's nothing to require them to make it better or easier for other groups to address this issue. And the example that I have is our group. I tried to get us added to the listserv that they have for zone changes and building issues that are coming up. they will not release that information to anyone except their city-recognized neighborhood associations. We kind of ran, and you know, we're not anti-growth, we're not anti-building. It's just we want to keep you informed of what's going on. And I don't see any promise from the city that they want any involvement in that. I think they're sick of the neighborhood associations, and they want to be able to do what they do without any citizen input. They'd rather tell you, oh, the new shelter that we're putting in, we're going to get opens next week. And we kind of saw that happen at 61st and Foster, and they're still trying to open it. But it's not in Lents per se, but it could happen here also. But that's all I know.
Thank you.
You're welcome. So, yes.
Can we get a city council person to come? Why don't we invite John?
Well, we've tried.
I know.
Char's on that. We can't even get responses.
Yeah, I don't even get responses from them.
Well, like who were the people that showed up the other day? There was 3 of them for a national night out. There were 3 people from the city. And there was an African-American lady, a tall gentleman, and a...
I don't know, Miss Cook, who were they?
Do you know who they were?
It was the crime prevention office.
Oh, yeah, we can get crime prevention, that's not your city council.
No, I know that, but I'm just saying, they were, you know...
Well, crime prevention was here because that's what National Night Out is about.
Right. So I knew there were city people, I just wasn't sure
Yeah.
from what office, you know. Because I did ask him about, I said, what's this? And he goes, oh, this about abolishing the neighborhood association. And he goes, oh, there's a lot of misinformation out there. I said, well, you need to clarify that with people because, you know, without neighborhood associations, it was all, you know, a parking lot, you know,
Yeah.
so.
Well, yeah, there aren't clear answers on that, and Daly certainly isn't being very forthcoming about it because when she was at a little exhibit or whatever, but was a lot of folks from neighborhood associations a couple of weeks ago, and she basically labeled the whole group as being white privileged homeowners, and that they were kind of what the problem was with the whole neighborhood association setup.
How privileged are we?
Yeah, we're privileged
That we don't rent.
Yeah, that we've worked all our lives to pay for our homes right now.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
She's just mad because as a city commissioner, she doesn't make enough money to buy a house.
Okay.
She's
So-
a renter, you know, which
Yeah, I
makes
know.
her better than the rest of us.
She's really much more equal than we are.
Yeah.
So anyway,
I saw you on your desk.
if there are no objections, then Char and I will continue to represent you at city council and county commissioners meetings
Go for it.
and cause trouble wherever we can. So, one more, we have, Char's probably told you, but we have pamphlets from the Social Security Administration that they had Amazon delivered to us today, so we'd have them for our meeting. And they would have had a representative here, but they only work from 8 to 5, and our meeting doesn't fall within their business hours.
No.
So with that, we're going to move on to the real meat of the meeting. Sherri Devlin is here with, from Multnomah County Aging and Disability, and take it away.
Hi.
Hi.
I'm not sure how I work downtown at Multnomah County Aging, Disability, and Veterans Services, and I have been with the county 32 years.
Hey.
And I've done a lot of jobs there. I have worked in protective services. I've been a case manager for many years. I was the screener for 5 years when people were first coming to our door and trying to get some services. And I've done some community programs, and I did work with veterans in home program for a while. So I've done a lot of different things. So I think I'm here to tell you some resources for seniors mostly, right? Okay. I handed out to some of you, and there's more over there, but there is a group of people downtown, and they just answer the phone all day long, and get people to the right place when they're trying to get someone a resource, seniors or disabled people. And it's called the Multnomah County Helpline, but it's also called the Aging Disability Resource Center. So this card is how you get there. It's got the phone number on it, and it's got also a website. Now, they wouldn't want me to say this, but it's a little challenging to use it. But it does have a search in there if you're looking for someone needs a lawyer, or someone needs housing, or food baskets, or something like that. It does have a way to search in there, and you guys might want to give it a try. But anyway, so if you call the helpline, and I called the helpline in '82, but often people will correct you and say it's the ADRC, because that's the name for the whole state that uses the same system. And so when you call there, there's lots of things they can help you with. If you're trying to report that you think a senior or a disabled person is being abused, or maybe they're taken advantage of by a home care worker, or maybe their own family, you're wondering what's up with the family, you can call them for that, and they'll guide you through what you need to do. They can help people get hooked up with transportation, either to medical appointments or recreational transportation. They can help send you to private agencies, give you lists of places that will go into people's homes and do home care, private pay or public. They're the first screener for if you're trying to get some Medicaid services, and I'll talk about those in a little bit. They can also have 2 caregiver support programs. So there's a lot of seniors who, for whatever reason, they're taking care of grandchildren. And there's a whole grandparents program, and they have meetings and support groups and ideas. And then they also have another thing called the Family Caregiver Support Program. And you don't have to be someone of limited means or anything. It's for people who are helping their parents, and or it could be a spouse helping another spouse. And they have these $500 free grants. I got it for my own parents. They were needing a little bit of in-home help, and $500 went a long ways for them. And they also can get you into, help people get housing resources. They can help figure out how they can get you hooked up with Meals on Wheels to get meal delivery in the home, and that's for people over 60. Sometimes I can get that.
Are they gonna do away with that program, I heard?
No, I doubt that.
I know too, but
I've never heard it, so.
Okay.
It's a nice service they have. Some of our, I work mostly with Medicaid people, but some of our Medicaid clients use that a lot. And it's nice because someone is coming to the home at least, 5 days a week, and they're looking in on the person, and they can report if something looks funny. There's also we have a senior law project. Has anyone heard of that?
Senior law project?
Senior law project.
No.
It's a free half-hour of legal advice for people 60 and over. So you can call the ADRC and ask about that. It's called Senior Law Project. They can help like simple things, nothing too fancy because it's only half an hour.
Yeah.
But they can help with power of attorneys or give you advice about wills and stuff like that. And they also can refer you to, I like to call them elder law attorneys, who work with mostly estates or financial planning for seniors and stuff. They can tell you how to get assistance paying for Medicare, or how to help people get hooked up with Sheba. Has anyone here used Sheba?
Demo?
Sheba is Supplemental Health Insurance Benefit Assistance, I think is the real title of it. And they have these counselors, and a lot of them are volunteers, a lot of them are seniors themselves, and they help people go onto this computer system and pick out which insurance would be the cheapest that would cover all their medications, and they list the medications on there, and they'll come hook you guys up with that. It's usually held at the senior centers. And anyway, they're just kind of a general go-to if you have a question where to find something. And they're just, I've worked actually next to them, and they're very easy to talk to, and they're nice people, and they're sitting by their phones. They don't answer live sometimes, though. I've had to call them myself when I've been out in the field and I needed a phone number. And you might have to leave a message, or if you stay on hold, they will answer, and it might take a few minutes or something. Not too bad. So if you guys, these little cards are over there. If you guys didn't get one and you want one on the way up, Does anyone have any questions about that, about our helpline?
Will they connect you to that if you dial 211?
It's similar to 211, but it specializes in aging and disabled people. But they pride themselves on what they call a warm transfer. So let's say you call in, you think somebody might need some in-home services, maybe they could qualify for Medicaid. They keep you on the line, and they call it a warm transfer, and they try not to drop a call, but they'll give you the phone number in case it gets dropped or something, so, yeah.
I have a question. I got a call from, I switched insurance. I get the same identical coverage on my supplemental that I pay. So. And I saved $80 a month. However, I got a call and they said, well, now seniors are getting medical, dental, and vision and hearing. I mean, dental, vision, and hearing added to their policy for no extra charge.
Yeah, it's actually usually a Medicare Advantage plan, or we have, if you're on, there's other programs too, but some of the coordinated care organizations and some of the insurances now are paying limited vision, dental. It's not every plan, so if you call this number and got with one of those Shiva people, they can help explain that, which ones they are. And then some of our plans are handing out this $40 a month over-the-counter debit card for over-the-counter stuff too. And that's really nice benefit. So
it's just the Advantage plans?
Sometimes it's a Medicare Advantage plan, or it might be a Medicaid plan. I can kind of tell you the difference
So
about
does it
that.
have anything to do then with my supplement?
The supplement is hooked into the Medicare that then has some sort of agreement with the providers. And each plan, this is why these Shiva people are so valuable, each plan has its own things that it will cover or not cover. Even if someone was on Medicaid with one of our Medicaid programs, which is, I'll tell you about Medicaid now. Each plan is different. Like some don't have the $40 card, and then some have vision, and some have no vision. Some will give you glasses every couple of years. Some they don't even do glasses. So these are things that these counselors, we call them Medicare Modernization Act counselors, and we have those in our office too that can help too. So, but you get it, we call them this helpline. That kind of makes sense? Okay, well, I'm going to talk to you real briefly. There's little brochures over there for everything I brought here, but I thought I'd start out telling you about one of our medical programs that we have in the office is called Qualified Medicare Beneficiary Program. And sometimes we can't get people to apply for our services. They either don't want to, or they're trying to hold out, or maybe they're being claimed on their house or something. I'll talk about that in a minute. But often we can get people, and they don't want to apply for SNAP either a lot of times. But this program, this QMB program, there's a brochure, it covers the Medicare B premium. All right, you guys, do you know what Medicare B is? Do you know what Medicare is?
Yeah.
Okay, it comes with your Social Security benefit, right? And often when you get your Social Security benefit, they take out around $135 or so for this Medicare B premium, yes?
Is that hospitalization?
The Medicare pays for the hospitalization, yes.
No, but Part B, isn't Part B?
Part A pays for the hospital, skilled nursing, and skilled in-home care. So usually it's some kind of condition you had, like a stroke or you fell and broke something. So that is Medicare A. Medicare B pays for doctor visits, outpatient treatment, outpatient physical and occupational therapy, where you're going to the doctor's office usually, and it pays for medical equipment. It might pay for walker, wheelchair, something like that. So that's kind of the very general review of Medicare. But the Medicare B premium, the $135, we do have programs if you fall within these income guidelines. If someone's monthly income's less than $1,041, which is pretty low, we'll pay the Medicare B and any of those deductibles if they qualify. The other programs is QMB, it's SMB and SMF, And then you can have income up to 1406. And then we have some other limited prescription programs. But anyway, the good news about this QMB program is it used to have a resource limit. You can only have so much in the bank. But now it has no resource limit. So somebody can have quite a bit of assets and still qualify for this. And you get your Medicare B covered. So what will happen is if you qualify, the state's going to send a check to Social Security for the $135, and then you're going to get $135 more in your direct deposits, how it works. So it's a pretty good deal, and we can usually get people to apply for that pretty easy. There's no claim on your estate or anything like that. It's just you get the Medicare B coverage. So then we have this other medical program. Now, have you guys heard of the Oregon Health Plan? Oregon Health Plan? Okay. So this is what people typically think of as the Oregon Health Plan. There's another Oregon Health Plan for people who just have very limited income. But this is the Oregon Health Plan that you're over 65 years old, or you have a Social Security disability income, or this other income called SSI. So we have a program for that, and the income limit's really low. It's like $771 a month. But if you're someone who needs help in the home, you're unable to get out of chairs all the time, maybe get stuck in the chair once a week. And these might be people you might come upon, as you're going out trying to help people. It could be somebody who has a moderate to severe dementia. They're starting to get kind of turned around when they get out the door. So these people may qualify for in-home services, and there's not really an income limit on that program. And so they might qualify if they have enough physical assistance needs inside the home. So it has to be you need help in the home once a week. It can't be somebody who can't get to the car to drive to church or drive to the store or something like that. It has to be somebody who needs help in the house, or they have a safety need every single day. This isn't like somebody who left the stove on once, like I do once a month or every 3 or 4 months. It has to be somebody who leaves the stove on, a little fire might happen, they don't know what to do. They don't know to grab a fire extinguisher or call 911. So it's people who are at jeopardy because of their confusion and stuff. So if someone has those type of care needs, Medicaid can help pay for in-home care, for a home care worker to come in, help them take a bath, help them get their meals, help them straighten the house up. Or we also pay for adult foster care. Do you guys know what that is? It's like somebody's home, they have a few extra bedrooms, and there's people in the rooms that they help with their medicines and getting them up during the day, get them dressed and everything. We can help pay for residential and assisted living care. Are you guys familiar with that? Pretty good? Residential care is more like a college dorm. There's a room, there might be 2 people in it. You shower down the hall, you get your meals, down in the dining room. There's usually no restroom at all or the thing. The next thing that a lot of our clients really like is the assisted livings. You guys have some in this area, don't you? Assisted livings. And those are nice. You get your own room. You get a little kitchenette sometimes. Sometimes they don't want a stove in there, but maybe just a little stovetop. And then a small refrigerator, a microwave. You have your own bathroom. These facilities have home care workers who will come in and help you get dressed and stuff. They come around the room. And they have larger group activities and entertainment comes, and they're very nice, and people get to have their privacy. If you qualify with enough of these physical care needs, we can't tell you where to live. Of course it has to be a safe situation, but we're not going to say, oh, it's cheaper for you to go to a foster home. You all have to go there. So you can pick where you want to live, as long as they can meet your care needs. So what I mean by that is, let's say you're the person who wanders out the door because you have confusion, you don't know how to turn around and come back. Well, some of the foster homes don't have any kind of device to alert somebody if they're getting lost and stuff like that. So depending on your care needs, that person maybe needs what we call a locked facility, like a memory care wing or something to stand. So those are some of the service options. And once again, you just call the helpline and they'll try to get you to the right place. There is a resource limit on this though. People can only have $2,000 in checking, savings, CDs, stocks, bonds, life insurance. Unless they're married, married couples can have quite a bit of money, and it just depends on their rates and their income and stuff.
What about home?
We don't count the cost of a home, and we don't count the cost of one car. So where people kind of get in a pickle is maybe they have a little plot at the beach, you know, a little piece of land at the beach, or then we'd ask them to list it for sale. And if they're over 50 and 5 years old, there might be a claim on their property by the state. Not a lien, but a claim. And because of those things, the claim, they don't want to divulge their financial information. It's possible they won't want to apply for Medicaid, but our service workers will go out and do an assessment. See if they're in jeopardy and they need help. We will go out, we'll look it over, and we'll say to ourselves, okay, we try to talk to them about this. You really need help, and we try to advocate for them. We get the help. When I did service intake, sometimes the person didn't want to apply. Maybe they want to give their house to their kids or something. I'd say, listen, you will have to pay privately then, right? And to privately pay someone to come in your house costs about $10 more an hour. So sometimes I could convince them if they really needed the help that, you know, it's cheaper to just go with the Medicaid.
What's the difference between a claim and a lien on your house?
Pardon?
What's the difference between a claim and a lien?
Oh, I'm glad you asked that because someone was reporting that some of our intake workers were saying the word lien. A lien is a judgment they put on your house, like a bank can do it, and it means when it sells, there's this claim. There, you know, they can get the money back.
Right.
A claim follows the order of probate, and we are H, which is what, 7 people down. The first person who, when you pass on, who gets money is your spouse or a young child. The second person gets paid is the people who are managing your estate. The third person in line of this hierarchy, and it's an Oregon statute, is the funeral homes. You think they'd be up high there. And then there's, I think I wrote it down in my notes just a minute because I thought maybe somebody might ask us. Okay, yeah, so it's surviving spouses and child is first, expenses of administering the estate is second, expenses of a funeral is third, debts covered under the federal law, that would be like, I think that might be like federal loans, student loans and stuff, reasonable medical. So then we are like G, and we are public assistance. And then there's a couple more people after us, and they're like credit card companies. So let's say somebody didn't have believe they have a will, or believe me, we're going to still try to get the claim. And Oregon has one of the highest recovery rates in the nation, like second highest. And then it's only $2 on a person, average. So anyway, it's another thing though that kind of gets in people's way of wanting to come on our services and stuff. But once again, if somebody really needs help, it's much cheaper to go on our services and pay that back than to try to hire someone privately because it's going to cost them. So that's kind of just the general. I'm just going to try to give you some general stuff just because it seems like you kind of just want an overview, right? Okay. Now the next thing I want to talk to you about is we have a lot of seniors, they don't want to apply for SNAP, which is food stamps, right?
Yeah.
And it's such a good deal because in Multnomah County, they have to have income less than $19.26 a month for a single person. For 2 people in the household, it's $2,600. But here's the thing about the benefits. In Multnomah County, we can just send the money to your bank account, direct deposit. It's called the Cash Out program. So I think some reason is people don't want to take that card to the store and use it, right? Well, in Multnomah County, in Clackamas County, and Washington County, we have a special permission to have this Cash Out program. So they have 3 choices. They can just get a check every month, or they can get the money direct deposit every month, or they can get an EBT card and use it at any ATM and just take the money out whenever they feel like it.
How old do you have to be to get, because like me, I'm on SNAP.
Mm-hmm.
She gets food, cash or food, a cash card, that's all.
Yeah, there's certain incomes, if it's programmed in, you have to take the cash. Some programs you have to take the cash.
Oh.
It just depends on each person's circumstances. I try to encourage our workers to go with this direct deposit because I cannot tell you how many times people lose that card. I mean, they just some people lose it like 10 times a year. And then they call us and we say, we can't give you that. You gotta call this 1-800 number. Nobody wants to do that. And I just think it'd be easier if it just went right in the bank for a lot of people. And the minimum amount, if you qualify, is gonna be $15 a month. You don't have to spend it all at once. It can store up for 12 months. And even something nice to have at Christmas if you didn't spend it all year. So anyway, I think it's a really good benefit. A lot of people, I think, could apply and get that. And then I want to tell you about another great reason that one might want to do that is, I don't write a flyer. If you get SNAP or you get one of our medical programs, you can get this Lifeline telephone program, and I think you get $20 off a month on your phone. It's for people who get SNAP, who get SSI income, they're on Medicaid, anyone who's in federal public housing, veterans or survivors pensions qualify for this $20 a month discount, and some people even can get a free phone. Nice? Yeah. Nice. And then the next thing, I love this part. I don't know if I brought the flyer. There's this $5 tickets to shows and stuff. I don't know if I brought it.
That's a great deal.
Have you guys heard of it?
Yeah, I got that.
Yeah, so for if you have a SNAP card and you show it to the vendor, you can get $5 to like, different shows and concerts, and it's a real nice benefit. And they have this thing at the farmer markets. It's called Double Up Bucks. Have you heard of that?
No.
You get Double Up Bucks, and so what it means is if you use your EBT card, they'll match it up to $10. This little card that you can get.
So you can get 20 bucks.
Yeah, so you get $20. Yeah. I think that's really nice. I think it's good for a lot of people. So let's see, what else have I got for you? Now, there's a handout over there. Oh, $5 arts tickets. I wonder if it says where they go. No, it didn't. And anyway, all you have to do you guys Google much? You just put Arts for All and it'll come up when you Google it. Arts for All. Then there's another program I thought you might be interested in. So some people, they don't qualify for our programs. They have a little too much money. And then there's maybe a lot too much money. But there's a program that's not based on the money. It's called Oregon Project Independence. Has anyone in here heard of that one? Oh, it's really good. Now remember I told you there's people who, if they can get around inside but they need help outside, this is the program for them. So the way you qualify for this is you're someone who can't get around outside, or you're unable to bathe yourself because of safety reasons, you might fall or something. They have a similar assessment thing. The case manager comes out, does an assessment. What do you need help with? Do you need help with transportation? Do you need help with meal preparation? Do you need just some housekeeping? And so this program, you can be a little more independent. Usually it's almost always someone in their home because they wouldn't pay for a facility. And it's a good deal. And what it pays for is personal care, home care, heavy housework. That's good to know. I don't qualify, but I would like that one. Assistive technology devices. We have funds for both programs to pay for assistive devices in the home. We have some really cool assistive devices now. There's automatic toilet flushers. I like that. I like when you go out now, and then we have these things where you put your hand under and the soap comes out. We've got those. We've got automatic motion things that shut down the water or dispense the soap. We have, what's another one? I don't know anyone who has this, but I did research that we can maybe pay this too. There's a sensor that you can put on a stove or oven. When you walk away, it turns off in so many minutes, the stove. I think that's really cool.
Yeah.
What else do we have? We have, of course, we have lift chairs, that push you up. My mom has one of those. So those are assisted devices. There's some hearing things that they can help you. Also, they do have registered nurses that can check on people. They help pay for the Meals on Wheels. if somebody might qualify for this, maybe they can't do their meal preparation, they can help pay for that. They also do transportation and case management. Sometimes there is a waiting listing on this, and it's a very small sliding scale fee people pay. It's not like our program where you pay quite a bit. So anyway, they're a very good program. It's called Orion Project Independence, and there's a brochure over there on that. And then, how many on time, okay? I'm a fast talker. Okay. Just ask my husband. Okay. So then I wanted to talk to you about, we're over there for that too, but protective services. So you guys, it sounds like you're going out, you're meeting all these people, and who knows what you're going to find out once you really start getting to know them. You might find out about someone
Elder abuse.
yes, or they say, oh, my daughter made me give her the home, or something like this. Or you go out and you see that the place maybe is a place where someone has hoarding issues, or could be you see they're not cleaning up after the animals, there's hygiene issues. You can call Protective Services, and you can reach them through that ADRC number, the helpline. And we can send people out. I used to do Protective Services, and you go out, and again, mostly it's very friendly people. You know, we try to help people. Sometimes we can't help people. Sometimes, for example, this happened in my own family. The housekeeper was, let's say, helping herself. And, but, you know, if the person doesn't want to press charges or something, there's not a lot you can do sometimes, but they will try to do something. They will try to encourage people. They can go back more than once, these protective service workers. There's a lot of people they have that call us too. Sometimes the banks call in if they see there's large withdrawals going on.
Yeah.
And sometimes the doctor's offices might call in. We get sometimes home health calls in when they're worried. They go out and they think someone's getting taken advantage of. There's another thing that we call self-neglect, where the person just refuses to try to let anyone help them, but they need help badly. So anyway, we do have protective services. I think there's a flyover of that. So I think that's kind of our little potpourri of resources. Yes.
I have a question, because filled out some of these applications, and I live with my son, but when it says how many people in your household and how you add up the income, I'm not sure how to adjust that.
Yes. For the household, for the medical programs, unless it's a little child, then we don't count any other adults living there.
Okay.
For the food stamps, for the SNAP, this is incredibly important. Just because 2 adults are living there, but the question on the application says, do you purchase and prepare together or something? So if someone says yes, they're gonna say, oh, you're a household of 2. We're gonna count everybody's income. But, you know, my son lived with me when he got out of college for a few months. It's very stressful for all of us. But he did buy his own food and prepared it himself. And I did not shop for his food, so you know, if we had been in that situation, he could have applied on his own, or I could have applied on my own, and they would not have said we're a household together. So the trick to it is, if there's 2 adults living there, we ask who's in the household. It's very important to say if you keep your food separate, you prepare food separately, and you shop separately.
Yeah.
If you do that over half the time, then it's household of 1. There's certain people have to apply together. If you're married, you have to apply together for medical and for the SNAP. If you have a little child, they are always in your household. Even if you're the grandparent, you have guardianship or something, then you're going to be a household of 2 if there's a little child in you. So basically that's the tricky part, is the case managers need to really explain this purchase and prepare together. Now, here's another thing. Let's say that you don't really purchase and prepare, but you think, oh, there's 2 of us and he has no income, so we'll get more SNAP. Not today. They have a new thing that in our situation, because we don't carry all the senior cases, it's usually a child or a grandchild lives there, and the answer yes, that we purchase and prepare together. We say, oh gosh, you're a household of 2. The younger person has to go to employment training now if they don't have a job. So they either have to work and earn a certain amount of money to get the SNAP, or they have to go to this work source. And I think they have to, for 20 hours a week, they have to either do training or look for work. It's all logged. Fortunately, it's there to help people get jobs, and they have been very successful, but some people, they say, oh, I don't want to do that, you know. And maybe they truly do purchase and prepare together, well, then that means one of them is ineligible, and that lowers the food stamps, but it's a little, there is something, if anyone's into Googling, if you put Oregon food stamp calculator, or just our food stamp calculator, you can plug in income and see what comes up, and it'll tell you how much SNAP somebody would get. So then you can figure out, oh, is it worth my while to keep encouraging them to apply? You know, because geez, they could get $15, why not, you know? So anyone can do it, it's kind of fun. I mean, I did it for myself. I did it when my son was there. He's doing well now. Yes.
How much did you say you get, $15?
If you qualify for food stamp, the minimum is $15.
15,
And the most is $192.
okay.
And can I point out that for a lot of us, I hear this a lot, $15, I'm not gonna mess with it.
That's why they say, yeah.
But that $15 of that SNAP card then qualifies you for other programs, such as REACH, Multnomah County Energy
Energy
Project,
assistance.
all of these other programs that will come in, give you a new bathroom, put a new roof on your house.
The produce
There are a
checks.
lot of things that 5 minutes it takes to fill out that form that
Well-
are real, the return on it is tenfold.
Well, in the calculation that, the computer does all the calculation behind the scenes. But let's say your only utility is a phone. You're not gonna get as much SNAP as somebody who had the same rent, but they had paid heating. But if you do the SNAP and you have we call it the FUA, the TUA, the telephone assistance, telephone utility assistance, because of this LEAP, this energy assistance, the computer behind the scene codes it as if you paid the full one and you get more money. For people over 60, the calculation is completely different because you get to include your shelter costs, even if it's like property tax, or if you're paying rent, if you're paying homeowners insurance, that all adds to the shelter cost. And so a lot of times the seniors would get more than somebody who lives, who's younger. Because if you're younger, there's a cap on how much rent you can put in there. So it's really, I wish more people would apply for it. Some of the senior centers are even trained and try to help people fill out the applications. If you come to our office, we will help fill out the applications too, if you need help filling them out. They can be filled out online even. You can fill them out online. But then it's kind of hard if you have a question or something. So anyways, I encourage people if they, they're less than $1,962 to go for it.
I have another question. I get a SNAP card.
Uh-huh.
I get the leave. And when I go to the grocery store, they ask me if it's cash or food.
Because they can give you $15.
If it's cash.
I don't know how much you get, but you can, if you say cash, they can cash it out like at the ATM.
It
So-
also affects which buttons they push.
Right.
Oh, does it?
If you have cash and you don't tell them that you have cash, they will automatically punch food and it comes up
Oh,
to
yeah.
nine.
Yeah, see, the
What's the
computer,
difference?
the computer is programmed on the food part. Only certain things coming through can come off that EBT card. And the computer, the grocery store's programming. And so, you couldn't get even magazines wouldn't be covered.
Or toilet paper.
Or toilet paper, hygiene stuff, so.
Once you're 65, if you were getting food stamps, it reverts to cash
Oh, okay. So
once you
that's
turn
why.
Yeah, if you-
65.
Because I thought I got food stamps and then it comes out cash and I didn't really understand.
Well,
what-
Right.
No, what it means is that you can get the cash in the bank, or go to the teller and you get the cash back out. Or you can use it like for the food. You have more
Or
options
anything.
if you're a senior, yeah.
Right.
Cash is, you can just cash
for
the card
anything.
out and use it for anything.
Right, right.
Right,
There's an app on your phone too that you can download, and it tells you your food stamp balance, when it was
Yes.
deposited, coupons, store sales, and it'll tell you that you should spend $33 a week. On your groceries.
yeah, and the balance can save up for up to 12 months, so. Yeah,
What's the resource limit on the SNAP?
well, that's an excellent question. They used to have one.
Well, they did.
They did, I think it was around $3,000 or something.
It was good.
So then it went to $25,000 resource limit. But now, what do you think the limit is now?
This guy,
It's the craziest rule I ever heard of. It's $25,000 if it's lottery money. And I said, well, are we, I emailed the state, I'm the policy person, are we supposed to ask everyone, have you won the lottery? And they said no, because the lottery is already checking to see if people get food stamps and they'll shut them down. And I said, I just don't know where that rule came up with. Only if it's lottery money do we care what the resource was.
Weird.
So right now, basically, there's no limit. I mean, it's unlikely somebody's won the lottery. I'm glad you guys are asking about SNAP though, because I think it's underutilized.
That's a federal program, isn't it?
It's federal.
Yeah, that's right. And you said it's $1,962?
Yeah, there's a pamphlet over there. It's got the
Okay, yeah.
limits on it.
Mhm.
You guys can take some of those too, just, if you want them, do you have like a little resource basket or something?
I went into the Division Street office
Mm-hmm.
and they signed me up for all kinds of things I didn't even know.
Yeah, I mean, we can help.
They
There's
said,
all,
oh, we can, you
there's all kinds of
this
stuff.
and you
Yeah, yeah, and there's we have a
qualify.
Medicare, we have some prescription assistance even. So I don't know if you guys have heard of this, but this new thing is coming. We're calling it ONE. I don't know what Oregon, I don't know what it stands for actually, it's ONE. And pretty soon, most people will apply online or a caseworker will help you put it online. And the computer is going to figure out everything you could possibly be eligible for, whether it's children payments for TANF, whether it's food stamps or this only for prescription assistance. And it does everything behind the scenes. It pulls in information from Social Security. A lot of states have it already. And then also, I don't know if it matters to you guys, but there's a look back if somebody's given anything away and you're going on long-term care services. The computer is able now to look back 5 years in every state. So we're finding people, it just started in January and we're already finding people have, property in other states and then the family didn't even know and I'm like, oh gosh. But anyway, so there's about another year and a half, a lot of this is gonna be all electronic. And we're just gonna push a button and say, that looks right.
That's terrifying.
I know.
Big brother is watching.
Well, not only that, but it so rarely actually works.
Well,
we're from the government, we're here to help you.
yeah, so they're gonna have a lot of safeguards when it first rolls out. They're testing it right now with different groups. And before it really rolls out, they will try to get all these bugs out of it. But, we are experienced workers. We should be able to look on there and see that looks right,
What I can't understand is, you buy a case of water on your food stamps,
Uh-huh.
the food stamps pay the deposit too.
Oh,
And then your little wonderful outside people go in the store and buy like 8, 10 cases of water, open every single bottle, dump them out, take them right back to the store to get the refund. Why can't they make that refund cash if they're buying
yeah.
pop? Okay, your pop is 99 cents, you owe 10
Yeah.
cents for the bottle.
You hear
I mean,
about little things like that. you know, they have to make the rules for the general public, you know, and there's always somebody kind of figuring a way around something.
We go in there and they open pop cans.
I've never
and
seen
stuff.
that. Doesn't sound good.
It's mind-boggling.
Yeah, the pop cans are what, 10 cents each?
Well, so-
Even my husband's starting to take them down.
Yeah.
He's
And
like,
a bottle of water.
that's 10 cents. Well, I think that's all I have for you guys. Well, thank you.
Sherri, I have one question, and I don't know if you can answer. No. People who are in retirement centers,
Yes.
and that income that pays for that retirement center is Social Security, right?
Yes, a lot of they apply their social security, yeah.
Just for the dental. So
Does that ever run out? Do they ever end up on the street because somehow their Social Security runs out or
remember,
anything?
from
You know, if somebody goes on Medicaid, it means they pretty much run out of money. But then the state
Well, that's why I'm
supplements the
saying we
balance.
need to talk about.
Okay,
So you keep 167 for spending, if you're in one of those facilities. And then the rest pretty much goes to the facility. But everything's covered, your toilet paper and all that stuff is covered. And then they bill the state for the rest of it.
Okay,
Yeah,
so they don't always kick you off the street when you're,
no.
okay.
Oh, unless the place doesn't take Medicaid.
Oh, okay. Oh, okay, okay.
And there aren't a lot of places that take Medicaid.
Well, that's what she said,
Yeah, you
yeah.
have to shop around.
Well, or sometimes they don't say it, it's not in the rules, but that like, you have to kind of like figure out a little bit ahead so that you pay so many months private kind of.
Right.
Some people do that. The problem with the assisted living is so many people wait to get help that then there's too high a level of care for those assisted livings.
Right.
Now, there was, and I'm gonna guess that there still is, and I'm sure it's not on any longer. There was at least one case manager that did nothing but list availability of placement. We could call her.
Difference between
She had the list of all the assisted living.
I think I know who you mean, and she's gone.
So,
Yeah,
so you know,
I'm sure it's tied up with some of that. I was the in-home care provider for 15 years.
Oh, yeah, I remember you saying that.
so even if they you still get the Did you see this?
She kept the list.
Did you see this?
But it's just one call and say, I'm over in Southeast Portland.
I can't hear you.
Yeah.
What I do in Southeast Portland.
Yeah, well,
And then, do they have another?
yeah, and we do have, coming soon, we're gonna get somebody, like you said, the foster home has this foster home right out of the vacancies. And then we have a nursing home person, and we're working on getting us the assisted living. She did it for years, but I think she wasn't your case manager, who did it, she was kind of a case manager.
Does anyone else have any kids doing?
Does anyone else have anything else they want to add?
Yeah.
Eat the food, eat the food.